Alright, I got all these games. All these wonderful games that I can play. Let's see which one I'm gonna play today. Why do I own this again? Sonic Mania. Wow. When this first came out, this was like the shit. Everyone loved this game, and it was just probably the best thing that ever happened any time, anywhere. You could not find criticism for this game, no matter where you looked. Many called it the best Sonic game ever, which is probably true, because truth be told, Sonic is bad. It's just bad. This game, in my opinion, just doesn't work, which is why we're going to be trying to figure out why I own it. But before we do that, I'd like to go over why Sonic Mania does not work. This game... First, let's get out the positives. What I really like about this game. First of all, the visuals. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this game looks amazing. It looks like the original Sonic, which already looks great. I'm personally a fan of pixels. I love myself some pixels. Yeah, this game looks very, very, very good. Except for on the bonus sections we're seeing right now. I like retro as much as the next guy, but this I think is a little too much. Look at this. Also the music. The music is great. Most of it is just Sonic soundtrack from before, but what they do new, it's great. So, visuals and soundtrack is great, but then you realize that the rest of the game is just really boring and bland, and it doesn't work a lot, and then you're just like, visuals don't mean anything, and audio doesn't mean anything if the game plays terribly. So, let's go on to the controls. This game, controls is probably one of its biggest weak points. I know you can change it, but the default setting is, for Xbox at least, A, B, and Y all equal jump. Like, why? Why does that exist? Why is it like that? And then the controls are very floaty. Like, you'll move Sonic, and then you'll let go, and then Sonic will walk for a little bit after that, and then he'll stop. And then, this bonus section again, as you can see, I'm chasing this guy right now. But, it's very, hard to catch him, as you can see. I'm kind of doing very bad. Not because I'm bad. Don't worry, it's because of the controls. It's the controls. Don't worry. No, but the controls are actually kind of bad. Moving on to the gameplay. It's something to talk about. The gameplay. Oh, well, honestly, the gameplay is not as bad as the controls, but it's still pretty bad. And that's not even the game's fault. The game still has some unique things that don't work, but it's mainly just the Sonic formula is just kind of bad. It's like Mario, but worse. The controls and the floatiness definitely do not help the gameplay at all, but that's controls, so it doesn't matter. The bosses are definitely pretty much only actual fun part of the game. The running around, sometimes it's confusing, and I know that's just the way that Sonic is, but the levels are, big, which I like. I like big levels, but it's so confusing, because there are so many different paths, but then you're just like, which one is the path that I'm supposed to be taking? Is there a right path, or is it just all the separate paths? I know Sonic fans are supposed to know this, but, I don't know this, because I'm not a Sonic fan, but that kind of disproves some of my points, I just realized, but, anyway, this is my opinion, not Sonic fan opinion. Moving on from gameplay, it's something that I've liked to bring attention to. The game is completely cheesable. It's so easy. It's hard to die. You have to be actively trying to die, because what you do is you get one ring, and then as long as you have one ring, and when you die, you can regain that ring. You literally can't die. There's no way you can die. You can fall into a pit, I guess, but who does that? There are, barely any pits in the game. In my Sonic Mania just does not work, in my opinion. It's definitely a great attempt, though. And it probably is the best Sonic game, which is not saying a lot. Just really goes to show how much better Mario is than Sonic. Well, that's about my 2 cents on this thing. Now it's time to talk about why do I own this? I'm pretty sure I own it because back in the day, I had this on my Switch. And I have fond memories of it because back in the day, I was way more focused on things looking good and sounding good rather than gameplay. If you look back, I made Mario Maker levels back around the time that I had this game, and all my Mario Maker levels were way more emphasis on making it look good. I would put in vines to make it look good, but then I would realize that you could use the vines to climb over stuff. So me trying to make it look super good ended up hurting it. And that was right around the time I had this game. So I think me, at the time, being more style over substance, I saw this game's amazing visuals and audio and I just loved it. But then replaying it, I realized that the gameplay is not good, but I didn't really care about gameplay too much back then. So cut back to me now having an Xbox and wondering what games to play on it. I was just like, hey, I remember fondly Sonic Mania, and so I got it, and then I realized that it's bad. And that's why I own Sonic Mania.